but we really have hope for some of your embryos. And I'm like, yes, I have hope for some of my embryos. Like, hey guys, it is Saturday. We are just about to go in to have some lunch. We are both absolutely starving. We waited way too long to eat today, and we have to run an errand after this, and food just needs to happen. We're going to a place we've never been to for Korean barbecue, and I have a lot to tell you, a lot of news, obviously, or I don't know if you can tell, but I am definitely feeling a million times better than I was last weekend. If you watched the 2 vlogs I put out last week, was not doing well. I feel like I pulled it off and made it look like I was feeling a whole lot better than I was at the time, but I don't know, I think I just have a talent for that. But I was feeling really horrible, and it's almost like I can only see how bad I was feeling after the fact when I look back and I was like, oh, I feel so much better now. So that is some really good news, but we have other really good news for you guys about our embryos. So we have an embryo update, but right now, food needs to happen, our errand needs to happen, life needs to happen. Say hi, Grant.
Hi, Grant.
Oh my gosh, so ready to be a dad. Oh, look at this skirted sofa. What in the 80s are we doing, y'all? Come here, Lenny girl. That's my girl. All right, we just got home a little bit later than I intended, or a little later than I thought we would. And I still wanted to show you my outfit of the day because I found that these overalls have saved the day in my current situation. Like I said, I'm definitely getting a lot better, but I'm still really bloated, at least too bloated to wear my jeans. I found the other day, I was trying to put on some jeans, not something that happens very often in my life at this point. I am all about leggings, comfy option skirts, dresses, and I don't know, it's just like not my favorite thing to wear at this point, but I wanted to wear jeans. I put some on and I was wildly uncomfortable. And these overalls have come to save the day. They are roomy, they are comfy, and in my opinion, they're very cute. You guys know how I feel about overalls. I might be a little too fascinated with them, but I love these. I can't actually remember when I got them, but I got them from ASOS. If I can find a link, I'll put them in the description, because these are just kind of like good all around, all purpose, cute, but you could totally like do a project in these overalls. And obviously they very well accommodate for my bloated belly that is very, very slowly going away, which I'm very thankful for. Okay, tonight we're having a little bit of pizza leftovers from last night. We went to a new place, we ate outside. It was very surprisingly cool and fall out, and the pizza was really good. I have been a terrible vlogger today. It seems like we've done absolutely nothing, but really, we've just been really enjoying having the day together and me not feeling absolutely horrible. It's been really wonderful. Yeah. We went a few places. I got my dad a birthday gift, which I'm very happy about. Grant got to return a jacket. We had dinner. We learned about the legend Bubbles Cash. I almost got that wrong. Bubbles Cash, I'd never heard of her before today, and was very interesting. I don't know how I stumbled down that rabbit hole. We've just been chilling, relaxing, feeling better and appreciating that. And then now we're about to go to a drive-in theater that we haven't been to before, but it is done by Texas Theater. And I've talked about Texas Theater a million times. I feel like it was one of the first businesses I was like concerned about when COVID hit. You know, it's very risky business in these times especially, but they've started a drive-in and we haven't been able to make it there until now. And tonight we're going to see Blade Runner, and it's a different version, right?
The final cut. It's like the
final cut,
director's cut or whatever.
And neither of us have seen this version of the movie. Grant's a big fan, so we're gonna make it happen tonight. And it's getting dark so much earlier, and it was just a dreary day, so we'll do better tomorrow. We've got big plans. We're putting together things. We're gonna try to go vote, try to make the early voting happen.
Yeah.
That will feel good to check that off the list, and other things. We'll see what happens tomorrow, but I will do better at vlogging tomorrow, I promise. And of course, tell you all of our good news. Oh, I also have something really cute to show you. I don't know if Grant is gonna want me to show you this. Look at what Grant ordered. They just came, I don't know, yesterday, the day before, the expectant father. No, I'm not pregnant if this is the first vlog you're seeing in a while, and we're pregnant. He's getting ready, y'all.
Gotta get ready early.
Just casual back there.
Stay ahead of the curve.
That is so sweet. My heart is warmed. I thought that was so cute. I was like, I don't have any books on the topic. I need to get like a book on being a mom. If anyone needs to get a book, it's me. I'm sure we all know, but yeah. I thought that one was really cute. All right, we're gonna go. All right, we got one of the best spots I think you can possibly get out here. There's a screen and we are front row out here, and we did have to kind of maneuver a spot that we could be close to an exit so that if Grant needs to leave, because he's actually on call just tonight, if he needs to leave, we can get out. Because before we were like second spot back there and we would have been completely boxed in, and I'm really glad we thought about it.
Yeah.
I don't think there's another human being in the whole world who would have helped us.
All right, it's another day, but it is not another outfit. We've got the same overalls and we've got the same shoes. I did switch it up with the shirt, so we're okay there. But it's just, you know, I found something that works. It feels more like fall outside right now. I feel like I want to wear jeans, which is a foreign feeling, but I'm just so sick of just wearing like leggings and biker shorts and big t-shirts, because that has been the uniform since the egg retrieval. You just can't argue with these overalls. They might have been the best choice that I've ever made in my life. I'm just gonna, you know, talk about them all over again today, like I didn't talk about them yesterday. They're just so nice, so comfy. I wore them all day yesterday, wore them to the movies, sitting in the car, Grant's uncomfortable car. And when you find something that works, just keep doing it, never quit doing it. That's my advice for you today. That's bad advice, but it's what I've got. You're gonna live. All right, so we're home from voting. You can see the project we have looming over us. We're doing that today. I think we've put it off a little bit too long already, but it just has to happen. Voting went well. We didn't have to wait at all. It was super easy, in and out. There's actually a really, really helpful site, at least for the Dallas area, that you can go on. You can actually see wait times at different early voting stations or locations. And we went to one of the green dot ones, and it says it's like green dot if it's under 20 minutes, and it was like 0 minutes. Like, we were in and out in less than 5 minutes. It was kind of amazing. And now, finally, I am ready to give you the full update on our embryo, tell you how I've been doing, all of that. I have Grant here. I'm gonna get him to sit and talk with me, with you, all of us together.
Yeah.
We made it. We made it out alive, almost unscathed. I've been feeling better and better every day. The bloating's going down, the discomfort is going down. We figured out that one of the medicines that they gave me to kind of help re-normalize the hormones was actually making me sicker and more nauseous and more lightheaded and dizzy and stuff. And I was taking that every night, and I'm like, and luckily we finally figured out in like the last 3 days I was supposed to be taking it, that was a big part of the problem. But other than that, I've been feeling a lot better. The hyperstimulation is going away. I am so thankful for that. I do want to say, before I launch into the new news, the updates that we've gotten since I last vlogged. If you watched part 1 of the vlog last week, where I told my whole story of the complications that we had with my egg retrieval and developing hyperstimulation and everything, I think I kind of went into it just trying so hard to explain my perspective and where my head was at when everything was going down. And it was a very long story, so I kind of don't blame myself for missing this, but I should have said I made a mistake there. We made a mistake in that situation. I should have gone to the hospital. I absolutely needed urgent care and didn't get it. And since then, I've really been kicking myself for not going. And I completely recognize that I made a bad choice. And I saw actually other comments from people that went through the exact same thing that I did and also opted to not go to the hospital. And I'm sure they feel the exact same way. It's like, yes, you want to avoid the hospital. And yes, when you're in extreme pain, you can't even fathom going and getting in the car and go to the emergency room and all of that, but it really was necessary. And I was actually looking around the internet a little bit and I found an article from a woman that almost died from the same thing that happened to me. And I think her case was more severe. The bleeding was more severe, maybe. But reading that really beyond solidified the fact that we really should have gone to the hospital and we didn't. And I should have included that in with the whole description. I want to be helpful, but at that point I was just trying to like survive and tell you guys the story. And maybe like once I'm through all of this, I'll be more helpful and say like, hey, if you're going through hyperstimulation, here's what helped me. If you have this, here's what to look out for, all of that. But you know, as I was telling that story, I was just so focused on like getting out the details, and there's that. Anyway, moving on. I am getting better. Thank you guys so much for all of your support and sweet comments on those videos. It takes a lot for me to like talk about all of these painful things that we've gone through and be so open and share these updates as we're getting them, because you never know what's going to come with the next update. It is a roller coaster, and it's like, yeah, we can get good news one update and the next update it can totally fall apart, which obviously nobody wants. And we always choose staying positive and doing our best to be optimistic, you know, trying to be realistic, but optimistic over everything. But we did have good news to share with you guys in the last vlogs, even among all of the bad news. And we actually have more good news to share now. So I told you guys that our day 6 update was last Tuesday, and we're still waiting on one more update. But this is a big update. So day 6 is the last day that they keep the embryos growing in the lab, and they keep watching them and stuff. And they wait and see which ones grow to where they need to be on day 6. And that's when they make the decision on which ones they're going to freeze, which ones they're going to biopsy and send off for genetic testing. And they called us on day 6. And they told me, well, the embryologist actually gave me a full-on heart attack, because she first said, we have 1 embryo. And it's like, my mind was like, 1 embryo. And it was just like, how could we go from 8, maybe 9 to 1? And I know like we are grateful for every single embryo, but it was just like my mind like snapped in that moment. And she was rattling off a bunch of information really, really quickly. And I was like, hold on, let's back up. You said 1 embryo, and she's like, it's 1 embryo yesterday. So actually on day 5, which I didn't even know they could do that, on day 5 there was 1 embryo that was ready to be biopsied and frozen. And then day 6, when we got our call, they got 2 more. So we had 3 biopsied and frozen by day 6, and we were so excited about that news. But because nothing can go perfectly on schedule with us apparently, and it's always like unexpected things and twists and turns around the corner, but we are so thankful for this one. She told me, it looks like some of y'all's other embryos could make it. They could get to where they need to be if we hold them for 1 more day. And we don't normally do this. We normally just cut it off at day 6 and call it there. But we really have hope for some of your embryos. And I'm like, yes, I have hope for some of my embryos. Like, it's just like, keep them all forever. I don't know. I mean, I know they can't do that. They have to have some standardization, but like, we're gonna hold them for 1 more day, day 7, and we'll call you back tomorrow. And you might have 1 more, maybe 2. And she really stressed maybe 2. I think she was really trying to manage my expectations and really didn't want to get my hopes up, which is totally understandable. I can't even imagine having the job to have to like call people and often give them news that they don't want to hear. I mean, it's just, yeah, I can't even imagine what you do, Grant. Anyway.
It's tough.
I know, I can really only imagine.
Be careful what you say.
Yeah, absolutely. And be super sensitive. And
Yeah.
it's just, I mean, it would just be so hard. So we had our day 6 update and we were excited about that, 3 embryos, but we had to wait one more additional day for another update. And actually on that day 7, I was going back into the doctor again to get another ultrasound, another blood test, just so they could see where I was at. And, you know, I am still at risk, less now than I was then, at risk for torsion, which is where your ovary can twist. And if it's twisted and it loses its blood supply, it can die. Like, bad things can happen. Like, you need emergency surgery. And because my ovaries are so enlarged from the treatment, I'm at risk for that. And, you know, I'm like taking it very easy, and I literally haven't gone anywhere until this weekend except for the doctor. But I am feeling so much better and still taking it easy. So don't worry about that. At one point this week, I did think I was getting it, but I was reassured. 1 out of the 3 really bad things that can happen to you from an egg retrieval, I was not experiencing. So we're very excited about that. Anyway, I did go back in that day, day 7. And as I was doing my blood draw, I'm sorry, I'm telling this whole story a mile a minute and Grant is just sitting here. He's very patient. If you want to jump in at any point, you can. I'm sorry.
You're doing a great job.
So this is day 7. I was getting my blood drawn and I get a call. And it's earlier than they normally call, but I answered. I wouldn't normally answer the phone during getting my blood drawn. But she was like, oh, hey, we have a really exciting update for you. And I could just like hear it in her voice. She was so excited. And it's like, you don't normally get that, you know, it's normally just like all business, you know? I was like, oh, I'm actually in the office right now getting my blood drawn. She's like, oh, is now a bad time? I can call you. And I was like, no, I want this exciting news right now. And she said, we actually got 3 more embryos today. They did a lot of growing overnight. We are so excited about this. And you could just tell she was so shocked that this had happened. It's like a miracle. So in total for this egg retrieval, we got 6 embryos. So they've all been biopsied and they're frozen, and we're just waiting on the genetic testing to come back, I think late next week or this coming week.
All good quality.
Yeah, they're all good quality. I asked her about the grading and she like rattled it off, and I was like, oh, I can't remember all that. And I had her tell me again, and I wrote everything down. And, you know, we're just waiting on hearing back about that genetic testing. And like, yes, it's another update that you're like anxiously waiting on. We just have very, very high hopes, and we're feeling so positive and so encouraged. Like, I texted Grant as I was getting my ultrasound, because obviously I wasn't going to call him as I was getting my ultrasound, and I was like, get ready for the best news of our lives. Like, I was not even present during this ultrasound. Like, I had concerns, you know, about what was going on, and I wanted to like see like what's the status of the blood and fluid collection in my body. But I was just not even capable of paying attention to the screen, because I was just like so excited to tell Grant the news.
We're done.
Yeah. I mean, that's the biggest thing in the world. And like, even last weekend, I wasn't even like fully to the point of thinking like, oh, there's a possibility I could have to do this again. But this news pretty much means for sure for us, we won't have to do another egg retrieval. I don't want to say that. I feel so unsure of myself saying that.
There's almost a 0% chance.
Yes.
And like we had talked about, I mean, even if it came to, you know, I guess it would take really coming to that for us to really decide, but there's almost no chance we would decide to go through another one just because of everything that's happened.
Yeah, just because of all the complications and
it's just too much.
Yeah, it was just really, really scary. And I think getting more distance from it, you know, we were just still trying to survive last weekend, but getting more distance and really like thinking back to like where we were and how we were feeling and how we were just trying to survive, which is just crazy. It's like, oh wow, let's do everything we can. Or, you know, our biggest hope right now is to not have to do this egg retrieval thing again. We don't even really have to talk about it, because right now we just feel like we're in such a good place and we're so thankful, and it just couldn't have gone better. And
yeah, they did. I mean, they obviously really got the medications dialed in this time and really did a great job on the second go, which is really
I mean,
all you can ask for.
yeah, exactly. It's just like with the first egg retrieval, I mean, obviously it can work great for people, which like I hope it works like that for you if you have to go through it. But they don't know how your body is going to respond to these stimulation medicines and to the egg retrieval and everything. And they're really just trying their best basically in unknown territory. And I feel like they learned a lot from the first one. They changed things, and yes, the way they did it was a little bit riskier, and she knew that going in, like with the trigger shot and stuff. They kept me going a little longer, grew the follicles larger, and it just ran a higher risk of hyperstimulation, and it ended up being worth it, which I know is not something that is guaranteed with IVF. And we just feel so lucky and so blessed. I mean, I feel corny saying we feel blessed, but I mean, it's true. And I'm so grateful for your prayers and support. And
I feel like we're kind of over a hump here. I mean, obviously we're not, because we've
got one more update.
Well, we have one more update, but I mean,
a lot more to do.
Yeah.
Before we have a baby.
And then you have a baby. So, but I just feel like now I don't know. I mean, I feel like we're so much more secure.
Yeah, we got through a big piece of it. There's this piece, then I guess there's probably like 2 more pieces until we can really feel like safe, I guess. But we're just grateful to get through this piece. You know, we're handling one piece at a time. And I kind of feel like that's how you have to do it. You can't focus on all the things that are coming up that are going to be hard, because the hard things are not going to stop. Because even after you have your healthy baby, it's still gonna be really hard. It's gonna be all new hard things every single day, but we're ready for it, and we can live through anything at this point. I definitely can. I am too tough for my own good, I'm realizing. And
so now we know that, you know,
if hospital's on the table, we're going to the hospital. Yeah. That's what we've learned.
Yeah, just don't overanalyze it. If you're thinking, is this
don't
a hospital situation?
It's probably a hospital situation.
Better to go and not need it.
Definitely. So that's my actual good advice for you guys. Don't do what I did, basically. And take care of yourself. Do not be like me. Don't try to be tough. I try to be tough too much, and it's not always good for me. Yeah. But that is our big update. We couldn't be happier. We couldn't be more thankful. And we just feel like we're in a really good place. And the other question that we're getting like from people in our lives as we give them updates is like, what's gonna happen with the transfer? Well, we don't exactly know. That is definitely the next move that we wanna make, but we aren't exactly sure of the whole timeline. My guess is that my doctor will want me to do like a washout month, but we're actually not sure about that. Basically right now I'm waiting on my cycle to restart, which last time I did an egg retrieval, it took longer than it was supposed to. So that might happen again. I don't know. Hopefully it doesn't. We'll see. And when your cycle restarts after an egg retrieval, it is really terrible, or at least it was for me last time, and that's what they told me to expect.
I'm sure it could even be worse this time.
It might be really fun. We don't know. So that's what we're waiting on, and I'll call the doctor at that point, and then we're gonna make plans from there. We have a big wrap-up call scheduled with our doctor at the end of October, and obviously we're also waiting on that news from the genetic testing, which will be another big piece of the puzzle. Yeah. And I don't know, we're just happy. I don't really know what else to say. We're happy, we're thankful, we're excited.
We're doing great.
Grant bought books. Yeah. That makes me so happy. You don't even understand. Like,
I want to have smooth sailing. I guess what I want to say is I don't want to have, you know, oh, I wish I would have looked that up after the fact anymore. You know, let's go into it with some more knowledge going forward. You know, you have time. Well, we have time now before.
We've got plenty of time. It feels.
I mean, it feels that way, but it's going to go by faster than you think, and
Well, I was looking at the table of contents of one of the books, and you can skip like the first 3 chapters, so that's nice.
Yeah.
So we're doing things a little bit differently.
Yeah, and you can kind of keep up and read as you go because you don't need to all know all 9 months.
All right, that's the update. A much easier update than last weekend, and a 100% happy update, pretty much. So I'm happy to get to tell you that. And right now I'm about to do a slow cooker sundae that I should have started hours ago. Grant picked this one. I'll show you what it is in a second. All right, so while I get started on this slow cooker meal, this is the project we have to embrace tonight. I don't think that we're gonna be finishing at this point, but I know we're gonna make some progress. So these are all of the parts to a set of IKEA wardrobes. Are they wardrobes?
Yeah.
Basically, they are huge floor to ceiling cabinets that we're gonna put in that little nook in the hallway upstairs. And this is gonna help us so much with storing a ton of stuff we just haven't found a place for. Mainly like holiday decorations that we can't put in the attic. And I'm gonna help Grant, but since I kind of have to be gentle still, I'm just gonna come up and help after he takes it all upstairs. You ready, strong man?
Oh yeah. We got this.
All right, I'm ready to cook. The hair is up. I partially feel like I need like a hairnet for this recipe. We are jumping in to the Dump Meals 5 ingredients or less cookbook that I showed you guys in my last vlog. This is the first recipe I'll be doing. Oh, update in case you didn't see on my story. That cherry cheesecake cake recipe that I found on TikTok and did in my last vlog, 1,000,000% worth it. Make that, and make that now. And that same account has a ton of those dump cake recipes, and I am so ready to do more of them, like beyond ready, because it was so incredibly easy. And the cherry cheesecake one was so good. It was so much better than we really even expected, and we ate it every single night. I mean, honestly, I couldn't have very much of it the first few nights that I made it, but like we worked through it way quicker than I thought. Besides the point, but in case you wanted to follow up, there it is. Today, I'm gonna be making the ranch chicken and stuffing. And like the title of the book says, very few ingredients, super easy. Dump it in the crock pot and go. So here are all my ingredients plus a few extra spices that I'm adding in, because I was a little concerned that the limitation of 5 ingredients would kind of leave out some necessary spices. So I'm adding in some that they didn't ask for, but adding extra spices does not really bother me. This is just a super simple recipe. Let's go ahead and dump it. Okay, so usually I like to go for the low setting for longer time, but for this one, we're just gonna do high for 4 hours. All right, now that we have that cooking, let's go see what Grant's up to. Oh, lost a shoe and scared Luna to death. Are you okay, Miss Bean? That was pretty scary. Oh no. Are you okay? Uh-oh, he's nowhere to be found. But I can see work has been happening. It's actually been at least an hour since I've been up here. Obviously, I found Grant, but we've just been working out what exactly we're gonna do here, because the plan has changed several times since we started thinking about this. So let me show you. If you've never seen this hallway before, it used to be full of boxes that I needed to unpack. Finally made all of that happen. And when we got this house, the floor plan actually had a built-in desk right here, and we decided that would kind of be a waste of space for us, and we wanted to use this for storage. And we've looked at tons of different options over time, and we finally landed on putting in some IKEA Pax wardrobes, and not using them as wardrobes, but kind of just like big cabinets, and they're really tall. These are the markers for our studs. Luna is going crazy in the background. And what we have right now are 2 double door Pax wardrobes, and we are going to add 1 more single door Pax. So it's not going to look like a built-in kind of thing, but it's going to look like kind of like a wall of cabinets with a little bit of space on either side. And mostly what we've been looking at and thinking about and talking over and planning is how we're going to secure these cabinets to the wall, because they're really, really big pieces and we want them to be secure. We want them to be safe. We don't want to have any kind of risk of tipping or anything like that. If you don't know what the Pax looks like, this is not a great picture, but this is the double door, this is the single door. Having all of that storage right here would be so helpful for just different things that we can't store in the attic, but we need to have put away. But right now we're starting to get hungry, and unfortunately my slow cooker meal is not done. So I think I'm gonna run out and get us some food, and Grant is gonna start working on this, but I don't think we're gonna make a lot of progress tonight. I think we've got to kind of space it out because this is gonna be a long project and it's not just gonna like happen in a couple of hours. We were a little too ambitious, as usual. I'm back home. Looks like we made some progress, huh?
Yeah.
You ready to eat?
Yeah, I'm just gonna knock these in. Get a good stopping point. I want some Popeyes. Yeah.
All right, we just had dinner and now the season finale, or actually the series finale of The Vow is ready to go.
So abuse is a made-up human construct.
All right, my timer just went off. Whoa. This will be dinner Monday, and then my lunch and maybe some of Grant's lunches through the week. And obviously I'm not going to taste it now, but maybe I will say in text on screen whether the recipe was worth it or not, because I will have tried it by the time I put this vlog out. All right, it's the end of the night. I'm about to wash my face and go to bed. I'm super tired. And update, I was wrong about The Vow. It was the last episode, but they are gonna have a chapter 2 or part 2, so there will be like another season. And I do feel like they kind of slowed it down and drug it out a little bit, but it made sense for them to stop part 1 here. Anyway, time to go to bed. Definitely feeling so much better. Thank you guys again. And I will have more news to share in the next vlog when we get another update. But right now we're just generally feeling good and we're very thankful. There will be a new video on Thursday. It's going to be a wave tutorial on how I've been wearing my hair for the past month plus. I talked about it in my latest favorites video that I put out last week, and a ton of you guys commented and said that you wanted to see it, and I've gotten lots and lots of other comments and messages about it, asking for a tutorial, and it's just so easy. I always put it off, but I finally made it happen because, like I said, I've been trying to lay low, but it was just a super easy tutorial to make, and that will be out on Thursday, so check that out if you've been looking for it. And I hope you guys come back next week for another vlog. Thanks, I love you, bye.